This video is sponsored by Card Kingdom. To pre-order Tarkir Dragonstorm, use my link in the description. Ooh, okay, well, we got a real powerful rare. By the way, this is the first draft for those of you watching on YouTube. Thanks to Wizards of the Coast for inviting me to the streamer event. Yeah, so this is great. Like, if it was just Abzan, the Abzan mode 100% of the time, this card would be great. And it has a whole other mode. So it makes your turns so much better. So yeah, I think we take Hollowmurk Siege. This, Essence Anchor is a cool build around. Fleeting Effigy has the potential to be one, but I think it's a little too one-dimensional even for flurry decks. The Sniper's pretty good. This is pretty good too, though. This isn't the kind of 3-color card that pulls you into the clan, I don't think. It's not that strong. I mean, you'll play it when you're in that clan. But yeah, this pack's like not super amazing on the whole. I'd be tempted, since it's the first draft, to take the Anchor and see what we could do with it. But yeah, it might just be Dragon Sniper if this weren't here. So, if we're in black-green, that means we can move into either Abzan or Mardu to some extent. Okay. So this Tactician's pretty good, but you have to be into the tokens, which is, the Mardu theme, but also the Abzan do token things too. Knockout Maneuver's pretty good. We're going to be into counters probably if we're actually black-green. Champion's not bad. I don't think this is a bad card, but I do think you kind of need both halves for it to be worth thinking about. I'm sort of tempted to take the Maneuver. I do think this has a higher ceiling, but you do have to end up in the exact right deck. Oh, there's a Molten Exhale here. I was sort of overlooking that. That is an awkward pick because it doesn't really work with our Siege. I do think it's better than Knockout Maneuver, but given that I took a really good black-green card, I'm going to take the comparable green card. Molten Exhale is better than this, but not by a crazy amount. Especially when you can only do it at sorcery speed, which is a decent chunk of the time. Okay. Reputable Merchant's interesting. I'm kind of tempted to just grab a Citadel. Like, I do think these Tri-lands are worth really high picks. I do like the Sharpshooter. I really like Salt Road Pack Beast is one thing. Like, I can't believe it's a common. I do think you take the land here sometimes because none of these cards are, like, nuts. Like, I like Severance Priest. It's good disruption. But this is the kind of card that helps you play the Priest in the end. And having really good mana is good. I like the Pack Beast too, but I think we will take the Gainland. I keep saying Gainland. Tri-land here. It's probably worth taking. It's more like Cube once you're in 3-color formats where having really good fixing ends up paying off more in drafts because there are way more cards like Severance Priest around. So, all right, well, so here's an Armament Dragon. I think we probably take it. It's a pretty strong top curve. It's going to turn most boards on their head in your favor. So I like it a lot. Wouldn't hate Evolving Wilds. Caustic Exhale is really good too. Maybe I should just take the Exhale. I do think Armament Dragon and Exhale are comparable. And the Exhale, if we don't end up playing Abzan and we end up in, like, Mardu instead, or Sultai, we still play the Exhale. So I think we will actually take the Exhale here. Yeah, the Dragon does also have a better chance to wheel. It's probably true. But yeah, I mean, just taking lands like this does help significantly. All right, I like Yathan Tomb Guard with what we're doing. It's pretty great with Hollowmurk Siege, drawing cards with it and stuff. It does already have Menace, but the Wayfarer is not bad. I don't love this card, and if it is good anywhere, it's probably in Temur, not Abzan or Sultai, because it has high power. Yeah, people may just take the Dragon higher because of where we are in the draft. In the format. This is everyone's first draft. There might be some WotC people in the draft who have drafted this format before, I suppose, but it's pretty much everybody's first draft. Okay. Ooh, Snakeskin Veil. I love me some Snakeskin Veil. I do like this card. It's going to be a pretty good white common. Just because it can fill 2 slots on the curve adequately. Like, that's surprisingly good in Limited. It's pretty important in Limited. Like, being able to use your mana every turn, even if you're casting mediocre things, can just win you games in Limited. And that's the kind of card that does that for you. Rebellious Strike isn't bad, but I think we do take the Veil here. You know, it's just so good. Like, I don't know why they had to put it at common again, but we'll take advantage of it. I do think it's, you know, better than these white cards, which I think are all playable white cards, and this may be a signal white's really open, in which case maybe we end up being like white, black, splash, green. That's definitely possible. Another Dawnbreaker. All right, I think I like the Crocodile. I don't hate Blossoming Sands, but I think the Croc is good enough to take here. Like, this is the 5-drop you want in Limited, where you don't look at it and say, well, my opponent kills it and I get nothing. Your opponent kills it, and in most situations you get 2 somethings, which is pretty legit. So the Sands are good. If this were another Sandstep Citadel, I'd take it, but only being fixing for 2 colors. And we're not even sure we might be Sultai still. So, you know, that makes Blossoming Sands a little less interesting, especially when we have a good black card here, an Adorned Crocodile. Okay, Jeskai Monument does not help us. Roamer's Routine is interesting. Yeah. Underfoot Underdogs is not a bad card. Rebuke's okay. Serpent's okay. I could grab the Serpent here. Maybe we end up in Sultai. But is ramp a thing in this format? That is one of my big questions about it, because there's lots of ramp. It's just a question of whether you have time to do it or not. So I'll go ahead and take it. So we've already got a way better trick than Alesha's Legacy. Couple of decent red cards, decent white card. Reclamation's not awesome. I think cutting black is probably worth, because like none of these picks are going to be good for us, really. This is the one that's probably best. Yeah. We'll take it. Okay. All right. Well, I think we'll take Defibrillating Current here. If we end up in Abzan, casting it for 4 is fine. We're unlikely to end up in Mardu, but Worthy Cost is okay, but you definitely need to be tokening for it to be to do its thing. And I don't like the Night Watch that much. Like, even if I end up in Sultai, I'd rather have Defibrillating Current. All right. Well, these 2 cards still being here is a good sign for our Abzan nonsense. I think I like the Priest more than the Merchant. The Merchant is more synergistic, but the Priest, pretty good at disruption. Your opponent can potentially get something back, but I don't think that's a huge concern. All right, we'll take the Bloodflies here. If I'm splashing white, like if white's our 3rd color and that's how it looks, I don't really want to be playing a trick that's white. You know what I mean? So that's why I don't really want the trick there. But yeah, we'll play the Current in Abzan and be pretty happy about it. Whew. Yeah, I mean, this card's great. And tempting. I mean, we don't have to end up in Abzan, and the Fleshcrafter is great, like if we go Sultai. This pack is pretty stacked in general, though. I think the Vanguard is great, like one of the better uncommons in the set. I like Dragonclaw Strike too. The Fleshcrafter I like a lot. I think it's the best card here. This card, it only works if you're really putting counters on it, which is doable in the format. But it does have a kind of bad baseline where it just doesn't do anything but block forever. Yeah, I'm pretty tempted by the Fleshcrafter. I think it's strong enough that it's what we take here. Like, the Vanguard is also quite strong, and it's not by like a massive amount that the Fleshcrafter is better, but it's also a rare that I want to play with, so we'll take it. If the mana doesn't work out for us, the mana doesn't work out for us, but hopefully it does. Highlands doesn't help us in that respect. This is a bad rare. This card's pretty good, better if you've got Mobilize. We do have the Sultai land here. So we've got a really good green card and a good Abzan card, and then the Sultai land. Opulent Palace definitely helps us with our Flesh Crafter. I'm thinking I'm gonna take it. I mean, I think making the mana, our mana good, is a good idea. Like, I do like these two cards. I'm hoping one of them wheels. Let's take some mana. I just love Tri-lands so much. Like, if you get enough of them, you can play 4 colors. It's not that hard. I don't think we're in a world where we try to play Inevitable Defeat, though. Our mana's not going to be that good. So we're looking at Earth Carver. I think we'll take it. It's a good 6-drop. Bloodfell Caves doesn't really help us. The Equilibrium Adept is a nice card. Night Watch isn't bad, but yeah, we'll take the Earth Carver. This is another, this is a 5-drop that you don't really cry when your opponent removes it, and this is a 6-drop where you don't really cry if your opponent removes it. If I felt like blue was going to be a primary color, I would have considered that dragon a little bit, but I'm not certain that's where we're headed here. All right, so Backwater helps us with our mana, but there's also a Piercing Exhale. I think we just take that. The Devotee helps us too with our mana, but Exhale's great, and it's hard to pass. Strategic Betrayal's pretty good. Kind of cool that it is an edict that also exiles their graveyard every time. But yeah, we'll take Piercing Exhale here. All right, here's a Devotee, which I think we're interested in. More so than Betrayal? Maybe not. I really want to play this Flesh Crafter if I can, and it helps. I'm curious how this card pans out. I'm not super high on it, but it may turn out that having Flash is enough to make it better than I was expecting. Yeah, alright, we'll take the 2-drop. Creature. Don't know that we play routine in this deck. Like, we're not that into ramping. It does fix our mana, but... Another Earth Carver is probably not where I go. I think maybe here we'll take Desperate Measures. We might end up with some Mobilize. And it ends up having uses even when you can't mobilize. Like, can kill an X1. You can sometimes use it as a trick to kill their creature, and then yours dies too, and you draw 2, stuff like that. So I think I take it here. Okay, so here's the Sultai Signpost, but we've also got Trade Route Envoy, which honestly I think might just be better than the Sultai Signpost is. The Signpost is cool, especially its renewability, but this thing is a 4-mana 4/3 that draws you a card, or a 4-mana 5/4 that helps your counter synergies. So I think we take the Envoy here. Worthy Cost, we keep seeing it, but it's definitely more for the token decks, and we're not doing token stuff really. Even though we're Abzan, like, we've only got a few cards that we're more into counters than we are tokens for sure in this deck. Man, it's wild that this is still here, because whether you're playing red or white, or red and white, it's a pretty good card. You can just try and splash the other color, and it ends up being pretty good. Bloodfell Caves doesn't really help us. We can't really take that. I think we'll take the Earth Carver. I hope it doesn't make the cut as a 2-drop, but, So I need a little more fixing to pull off playing all of these things, but I don't think that's impossible. So if we go Sultai, the Night Watch is fine. I don't think we run it if we go Abzan. So, yeah, but we'll take it here. Resolve's okay, but I'd rather have the Night Watch. Like, the Current is playable even when you pay 4 for it. The Night Watch, not so much. Yeah, lots of white cards, although this one's pretty much unplayable and limited. It's not like this is very good overall. Neither is this. These two are fine. I guess I'll take Mardu Devotee on the event. Somehow we end up in Mardu. I don't really see that happening, though. Yeah, these are all pretty medium white cards. This is probably the best card here. This has a high ceiling. It'll be interesting to see if people can make it work, but I don't have the highest hopes for it. So, like, well, wonder whether blood flies will carry their weight or not. Like, it does seem like if you can get them down on 2 and put a counter on something quickly, they can, including on them themselves, they can go pretty crazy. Magmatic Hellkite. It's pretty good. Luckily, it's not so good that I'm like super upset that I can't take it, though. I do love this card a lot. This is a pretty absurd uncommon. It feels like it should be a rare. You can cast it once from your graveyard and it gets better with counters. So, yeah. Definitely what we take here. I think Magmatic Hellkite would probably be the pack 1 pick 1, but it'd be close. I also like the Pack Beast a lot. You know, this is something you can probably get away with splashing, but yeah, we'll take the Veteran. Yeah, we may end up doing Abzan. Ooh. But how am I supposed to pass Fangkeeper's Familiar? I love this card too much. You know, Mystic Snake is one of my favorite Magic cards ever, and this is, in most ways, a better Mystic Snake. You know, the better pick is safer picks are probably monocolored cards we know we're going to play. Like another Defibrillating Current, which is not monocolored, but, you know, we'd be happy to play it. But like the Nurturer is just a really good card all on its own. Wouldn't hate the Devotee. Wouldn't hate Reputable Merchant, but, yeah, we're gonna take Fangkeeper's Familiar. Because right now, we're not really in white. You know, we've got a Severance Priest. It is true we can't really play Defibrillating Current if we move off of it. But, yeah, okay. So this is good fixing and a dragon, but there's also another Caustic Exhale, and I don't really think I'm supposed to pass that. Right now, I think if we cut white, which also means cutting Defibrillating Current, we can get away with playing the Familiar and the Fleshcrafter just fine. Like, better mana would be good, but, you know. Good removal's always nice, too. Yeah, deck looks pretty good to me. So yeah, the Battle Priest, if we were going Abzan, would be quite good. Tamer Devotee, actually, oh no, we're not playing blue as a base color, so it doesn't make sense to play it. We could take Thornwood Falls. We've also got another Piercing Exhale, but honestly, we're kind of good on removal at this point. I mean, I wouldn't hate more, but I think taking some more mana to make it so we can play our Familiar and our Fleshcrafter is probably a good idea. You know, these black cards are fine, but they're not insane. So I think we'll take a gain land here. We may not even play our Citadel, but that's okay. A couple of Mardu cards. I think we take the Storm Singer. It's probably better in Mardu, but, like, it's a pretty good card anyway. Like, its ability is just good. So yeah, we'll take it here. Thank you for the resub, Hefty Lefties. Yep, Sultai it is, I think. I guess we still play the Citadel because it fixes for both our colors, huh? Oh, man. If I got one of these early, I probably would have tried real hard to make it work. But I didn't. And I don't think we're going to try because of that. Like, we don't have the mana base to make that work. We will take a Wayfarer here. Decent blue cards. You know, this I think is pretty good. This could end up being better than I expected, but we'll take a Wayfarer. It's a solid card. Can't have a counter, etc., etc. etc., etc. Yeah, we'll take Kintree Nurturer here. I do like Sun Pearl here, and it might be white's best uncommon. Just does so much stuff, and like I've said, I like this card too. White may have been more open in this draft, but, you know, we tried to build a counter deck sort of from the beginning, and I think we're going to do it with a blue splash for a couple of pretty powerful blue cards. So yeah. We do have more tokens now than we did earlier, but I think I'd rather just take another creature. that makes an extra body. I don't think we take another Earth Carver. I mean, if the format's actually slow, this 6-drop is, I think, better overall than this card is, but it's hard to be like, yeah, let's take another 6-drop. Okay, we'll take the Leopard. I sort of doubt we play it. These defibrillating currents still being around is kind of wild. We could have had like 3 of them, which would have been nice, but I think we made the right call with what was getting passed to us in terms of Abzan versus Sultai. I don't think I have that many dragons. Shockingly. Yeah, not really. Don't think we play an extra desperate measures. Alright. Deck looks pretty good. Got some counter nonsense going on. A little bit of graveyard action. We got to trim a few cards. But that shouldn't be that hard. Yeah, so that's a 9 black sources. 4 blue sources. 8 green sources. That's pretty good. You know, taking fixing does help. Yeah, we've got the Devotee plus. I probably don't play Roamer's Routine. Like, we're not ramping. Like, if I had some really big scary thing at the top of my curve, I think I'd go that route. But I don't really. It does fix for us, but I don't think we're desperate for fixing, really. So I think we probably cut it and probably cut the Nest Guard. Leaves us with 1 more cut. We have a lot of 4s, but they're like all quite good. I mean, the Storm Singer might be the worst for our deck just because we're not mobilizing. It's probably like a C- in a deck with this little mobilize. I don't love the Blood Flies, but I do want to try them. Because, like, they do have the potential to do so much damage. Maybe we cut Desperate Measures in this deck. Yeah, I think it's even... If you don't have a bunch of X1s, it gets a lot less good, and it's not that easy to set up the trade with it. So it's probably not great in our deck. So, all right. I think this is about right. I wonder whether I could go down to 1 island. I mean, I've got 2 cards that have to have blue mana. Yeah, the Night Watch isn't great, but I think it's fine. And then I could add more black and green sources. Yeah, I mean, that still leaves us with 3 blue sources. That's probably getting too greedy. I think our mana will be fine. Probably. All right. Okay. Our first draft is Sultai. All right. Well, it does look like we're going to get to do, like, Delta Bloodflies plus Hollowmurk Siege pretty quickly. We will keep. So, like, yeah, I mean, I think we play the flies here. We're going to need to find mana at some point, but we do have a lot of it. A lot of 2-drops, I mean. 3 of them, that is. Well, that's annoying, but nice. But we will be able to... Yeah, so we'll go Abzan here. Counter. Ugh, that's gross. Probably need to play my Death Toucher. If I don't want to deal with that. Yeah, you're only going to get to 3, which is not quite enough. So they lose 1 life, then we get a counter. If I had 1 more mana, I'd be able to kill Zurgo before the nonsense starts, but the nonsense is about to start, unfortunately. I have to try to trade with it, I think, with our Devotee. If I do that, they don't get to keep the 1/1s, so they did get pinged. If they have removal here, okay, that's promising. That makes it feel like they don't have removal. They could still have a trick. I mean, there are plenty of good tricks in this format. Okay. Well, let's get Bloodflies going again. I think we need to kill Zurgo. I can still have Caustic Exhale up after I do, so I think that's a pretty good idea. All right. Yeah. Well, on the first attack, it's an attack trigger, so it has to get the... It doesn't have the counter when it attacks. It gets the counter because it attacks. So the trigger is too late for the first ping to happen. Well, I think Hollowmerk Siege is good, like I thought. Well, that's annoying. It is hilarious that my Delta Bloodflies is bigger than that huge scary dragon is. I'll probably copy this if I draw a land. I'll definitely copy it if I draw a land, actually. I do not draw a land, unfortunately for me. Well, get in there. Play another Bloodflies. Leave up our Exhale. It is funny we got like perfect mana in terms of colors, but we can't draw a 4th land. But, you know, these things happen. Yeah, we don't have dragons in our deck, which I think is unusual. Look, another dragon. Okay. So we've got blue, black, yeah, we'll grab a forest. As if our mana didn't have enough problems, you know? We're running into trouble here. Yeah, when I do draw the land, but now I need 2 lands. Yeah, I think we might actually manage to lose this one now, which is kind of shocking. Although that helps a little. So I dropped them to 3 here. I've only got the 1 freaking black mana now, though, so I can't play a creature and... I think I have to Caustic Exhale this because they might have lethal just by playing another creature. Whereas if I... Yeah. So that's the plan here. And we have to hope that they don't have lethal. It's not a bug. Oh, it is. It's a visual bug. I see what you're saying, yeah. So, if they have a way to do one more damage to us, we're dead. But if we get to play our Fleshcrafter next turn, we probably win. Because we copy their dragon. But they may be able to do one more damage to us here. I couldn't have attacked unblocked there because they had a reach creature and they had a flyer. So I had to kill it if I wanted to attack. So that was sort of the situation we were in. Down to 1 we go. And what else happens? Okay. Clearly they have a blocker, which is bad. I mean, unless they're just letting me win. Ugh. Yeah, I mean, if we just had gotten our mana a little faster in this game, we could have actually won, but we can't now. I go up to 3, but they can still kill me. It's brutal to get Magmatic Hellkited when you're already having mana problems. Why does it say draw? Okay. Weird. Is it just gonna... Okay, it's just saying I had a draw. It counted it as a loss. That was a brutal game because... We had such a good start that if we had just not stumbled on our mana just a tiny bit less, like we could have missed every other land drop but 1 and we would have won that game. But we didn't. And now we're playing LSV, so let's see how that goes. Not the greatest hand. We don't have green, but it's acceptable, I think. LSV will likely be on some slow nonsense. If I had to guess. Start with a couple of tap lands. That seems about right. So it's tempting to go with a counter here because of our Tomb Guard. But I think I'm supposed to just go wide here. Gross. So the good news is I can kill it. The bad news is they'll make something else into a threat later. So... Still, I think we have to kill it. Will we be stuck on 3 mana forever again? No. Look at that. What is LSV leaving up with all of his mana? That's the question. I mean, I don't hate playing the veteran because if they counter it, I can just cast it from my graveyard next turn. But I think that's what I'm gonna do. Oh! Okay. He's on the same page as me with Fanekeeper's Familiar. Alright. I like that. Then we'll cast this. So what's awful... Oh, God. He has, like, all the amazing cards. Yeah. Yeah, I guess we're gonna chump. It's not looking great for us, guys. It's not looking great. So I could kill the Sculptor with my Nurturer using the maneuver. You can also just play this as a 5/4, which is not bad right now. But this freaking thing being in his graveyard is kind of a nightmare. What am I supposed to do? Just so many of the plays seem bad. I guess getting a 5/4 is our best play, probably. Oh yeah, this thing is such a good common. LSV basically has his dream deck, which is pretty sweet for him. 5, 8. I gain back 2 if I block, but I guess I'm just supposed to go to 10 here. Okay. Well, I can kill the Rakshasa, which I guess is probably what I'm supposed to do. And play the Tomb Guard. Yeah. I wonder whether I attack with my Envoy to draw here. I kind of think we do. Like, I'm gonna need more cards if I'm gonna catch up with him, and yeah. Do they chump to avoid me drawing? No. So yeah, they can grow that to a 3/4 here. And of course, they have Karsi Revenant around to make something gain lifelink, death touch, and freaking flying. They can get pretty close to lethal here with the Revenant, yeah. I go to 1 here if they don't have anything else. Which does mean I can't draw this turn. It's a May, right? No. Why is the Tomb Guard not a May ability? Whose idea was that? Oh, we can gain life through attacking, though, at least. Yep. Now they're all the way back at 17. Well, looks like we're going to lose this one, too. Let's see if we can do anything with our Night Watch. I highly doubt it. And I'm just doing it to do it, more or less. We're dead. You know, I'm going to let him swing for lethal. It is always brutal when you lose, like, you know, the Fangkeeper's familiar play is what shifted the game in his favor, and it's like, we have one of those too, you know. Where's ours? 0-2 to start the format. I wonder whether I should play... Is Defibrillating Current at 5 mana and occasionally 4 worth playing? He just had like the nastiest curve out possible too, unfortunately for us. Like everywhere on the curve, he was playing a card that I gave like a B or higher to in the set review. You know what I mean? Like when that's happening, it's pretty tough to beat someone curving out with the Sig card draw and the familiar and the yeah. I can't remember all the cards, but they were all cards where I was like, great. Not a great hand because we don't have anything to go with our siege, but I mean, I think we keep it. And hope we draw what we need to. Nice. We have this combo that we had earlier today. They're going to ramp their mana. I probably play Storm Singer next. We got all of our mana in like the lucky way. You know, looks like we're only playing basics and we got our mana. This card's great. Speaking of cards I gave a B or better to in the set review. I mean, it could be flies, hold up protection. But do we really need to protect anything? Like, no matter what, if they kill our blood flies, fine. We have a Storm Singer that we can give menace to. You know what I mean? So I think we just tap out for our Storm Singer. And then maybe next turn we go hold up protection. Because, like, if they spend their mana here to remove this, it's like, great, I attack with my Venerated Storm Singer and give it menace, you know? So, or if, you know, whichever way they do it, I think we end up feeling okay about things. They do have 5 mana, which is a lot. But the good news is we have Hollow Merc Siege and a couple of creatures. All right. So they will bounce Blood Flies here. Fair enough. So we attack here with Storm Singer. Put a counter on it. Get Menace. They block. I still get to drain a life. I could use Legacy here to kill that thing. But I think just playing out both Blood Flies is going to be better. Can we win a game? We're trying. Yeah, they can kill both our blood flies, but it's going to take some work. Can we draw Fangkeeper? Yeah, I mean, that would be cool. I do think our Siege is a better card overall than the Fangkeeper, believe it or not. And I think we've seen that. It's insane. It's just that we didn't win the one game where we played it. Okay, so let's attack. We will put the counter on our Storm Singer to give it menace, so they have to double block. The blood flies, you know, we'll get through anyway. I wonder whether I'm supposed to try to use Alesha's Legacy here if they double block, or if that's a little bit dangerous. They've got 3 mana up. It could definitely be dangerous. And I kill both of these, hit them for 2, and then play an Adorned Crocodile. They lose a life. I mean, I think that's fine. I think it's less risky to just let this happen how it's about to happen. Yeah. And then if they try something, I could, of course, use my... So they go to 5 here. Then we play Crocodile. They have nothing on board, so, you know, Menace on a Crocodile is pretty good. That does not stop our Menace Crocodile, though. Hey, look at that! Okay, we drew it. I don't think we're going to end up playing it this game, but we did draw it. Why did they tap that? Maybe they don't realize they get Menace? They must not realize they get Menace, because if they tap the Crocodile, I can't win here, but... Alright. I mean, yeah, the games we saw the Siege were absurd, and the only reason we lost the other one... Like, just hitting one more land in that game and those, like, 6 draws where we didn't hit a land would have won us the other game, so. 2 mana cards that can just run away with games, you know. Pretty crazy. It's not our best mana, so we've got the Devotee, which can fix us for black, but then if we lose the Devotee, we are in rough shape. If we don't, we're in pretty good shape. It's a good hand overall because of the removal and the Envoy and the Tomb Guard. Chances are good that either they don't remove the Devotee before we can use the mana, or we draw a swamp. So I think we keep it. Chances are good that's how it goes. Ooh, one of these. So later in the game, this is something to be worried about because they can just get some extra tokens on board. I wonder whether it's better to wait until I can also Caustic Exhale on the same turn. We'll run it out. Alright, don't... That doesn't hurt my feelings too much. That does. Uh-oh. Whoa. So if we draw a 4th land of any kind, we can play our Envoy at least. And then set up Knockout Maneuver. Oh, God. I should have known, like, you know, this one was sketchy to keep, to be fair. But I should have known it really wouldn't go my way the way mana has gone in this particular draft. I should have known. And that's game over. Four, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah. I mean, you can... They didn't time that correctly. I mean, you can say that you should take Mardu into... The reason we lost to these decks isn't because we didn't take Mardu aggro into account. You know what I mean? This one, I kept a sketchy hand for sure. But if we just drew one land, of the correct kind in 2 different games, we certainly wouldn't have gotten run over like that. So, all right, let's jump into our second draft. I do think that deck was good. I think we saw what the counter deck can do and stuff like that, even though, the overall record was not good.